Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Syllables and Word Stress series. So in today's video we've got several things we're doing. We're focusing on syllable awareness and word stress, and we're doing that specifically with a selection of 5-syllable words to allow us to look at some stress patterns. So just as a quick key reminder, if you haven't seen the other videos in this series, above the words we'll have these symbols to indicate whether the syllables are strong or weak. So the main syllable has that filled circle, the secondary stress, the slightly stressed one will get that empty circle, and then the unstressed syllables are indicated with that smaller circle. So you'll see this in practice in a moment. And just as an example, when we look at a piece of script from the dictionary, we get an indication of many things actually with these symbols. First of all, their presence shows us that a word is divided into syllables. So here we've got the word application, and we can see that's 4 parts, 4 pieces. And we also get some information about stress. The mark bottom left shows us that syllable 1 is the secondary stress, and that mark at the top before the letter K shows us that syllable 3 gets the main stress, application. So this script tells us lots of useful things about how many syllables and which ones should be stronger. So first of all, looking at a selection of words then, remember we're focusing on 5 syllables in this video, and the stress pattern we've got here is that we've got one main stress and it's on the second syllable. So repeat these words nice and loud after me and really try to match the pace of how I pronounce the word and where it sounds stronger. So repeat after me nice and loud. Administrator, constructivism, disseminated, expressionism. Good. So hopefully you felt that extra kind of emphasis on the second syllable there. And it's worth noticing that in the weak syllables, on the words we have here, they tend to include either the schwa or one of those short I vowels. Tend to. So we've got a different pattern here. These words have 2 stresses, or a main and then a secondary stress. And you see there the secondary is on syllable 2 and our main stress is on syllable 4. So again, try and mimic the pattern that you hear in my voice. Repeat after me. Accommodation, intimidation, insinuation, indoctrination. Good. So on this slide, we've got words that have a primary and a secondary stress, but the difference is here our secondary stress is on syllable 1. So repeat after me nice and loud. Beneficiary, biographical, claustrophobia, disagreeable. And our final pattern for today, it looks very similar to the previous slide, but this time our main stress has just moved backwards by 1 notch. So what you'll find when you're mimicking what you hear, hopefully you'll notice that when we say those 2 unstressed syllables, so syllable 2 and syllable 3, probably our pace is a little bit quicker. So we want to say them more quickly. We don't want them to have as much time and effort as the stressed syllables, and that's one of the ways that the music, the sounds of the English language happen is when we speed up some of our syllables. So try and mimic what you hear me say, nice and loud. Characteristic. Classification. Documentation. Epigenetics. Good. So there we've had 4 different stress patterns that you can commonly find in 5-syllable words in English. My advice to you would be that you can certainly trust your instincts, thinking about patterns with words that you are very familiar with. When you encounter a new word and you're trying to work out how to say it, if it looks very similar to a word you're familiar with, it may well be that it follows a similar stress pattern. For example, here you see classification and documentation. They've got a very similar ending and they're following that pattern. So you can kind of build your intuition around stress patterns, but to be absolutely certain, you probably want to go to a good dictionary, have a look at the script and see how it's written out, just so that you can know for sure when you're learning a new word that you're learning it with the correct stress pattern. So if you found that useful, go ahead and hit like. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with new material. And if you check out the homepage, you'll find lots of other resources for helping you to work on your English pronunciation. Thanks for watching and have a lovely day.